something didn't feel right.
This looked a bit suspicious to me.
We decided to do a bit of investigation.
Hello and welcome to Meet Our Heroes, a program that recognizes the extraordinaire from those who outshine across various areas of excellence. I'm Monsoon Dheer from the Bangalore MSF team. In today's world, theft, scam and financial crime have become more sophisticated than ever. Put simply, financial crime includes terror financing, money laundering, bribery, sanction evasion and corruption. As a result, there is a growing need for us to become more vigilant and use common sense to identify and avert criminal offences. Today, we'll meet our heroes in Bangalore and Mumbai who have done a fabulous job in protecting the interest of HSBC and preventing it from becoming a channel of financial crime. First, let's travel to Bangalore or Bengaluru to meet our colleagues Nayanmoni Pathak, Karthik Ramaraj and Rahul Kumar. They applied our financial crime risk standards and advised the customers to do the right thing. In doing so, they safeguarded the interests of the bank. Nayanmoni is a premier client manager with the Bangalore MSF team. He received a lead of a customer who wished to set up FCNR deposits with HSBC. Let's hear what happened next.
Since the transaction amount was huge, Karthik, my manager, accompanied me to the site. We met the customer at his Air Force quarters. A person escorted to his residence and later introduced himself as the client. This sounded a bit disjointed to us.
During our discussion, the customer told us that he was a research scientist and he was involved in healthcare research. We learned that his research work had led him to a disease which is found majorly in humans, particularly in the Nanjangud area of Karnataka. And he named the new disease Nanjangud syndrome. He was planning to open education institutions and hospitals at Vellore, where he had his research lab. At this point of the interaction, the potential customer seemed genuine.
Throughout the discussion, he had disclosed that he had designed a formula which helps in the longevity of a human life. This was supposed to be marketed in UK by one of his patients, for which he would get rupees 50 crore via foreign currency check, and he needed to deposit in a foreign bank account. So he wanted to open an account with HSBC. We asked him a lot of questions about his research, the new drug, and also why the reason it was not approved in India. The customer was evasive on all accounts. We advised him that since his transaction pertained to his business, he should open a current account. However, the customer expressed his desire to transfer a portion of these funds into a savings account later. He also told us that the account would be used for receiving remittances from abroad. We noted all the needs of the customer and returned to the bank. Something didn't feel right.
This was a very interesting case in Bangalore, and it just shows that there is rarely an answer in the rule book for these sorts of cases. In fact, what our colleagues did well in this case was to start asking questions as soon as they felt a little bit uncomfortable with the information that they were being presented with.
While Karthik and myself went over the case, some of the things kept nagging us. Like the customer was not able to provide answers to some of the questions which we asked, the sense of urgency in opening the current account, and his need to open an account in a foreign bank only. There was a clear anomaly in the client's statement and his behavior. We felt that the customer could be involved in some illegal business or money laundering activity and was using HSBC as a gateway.
The business looked good, but there were too many aspects in this lead that did not seem right to us. We decided to do a bit of investigation, and our suspicion was affirmed.
I need your guidance because it's very confusing situation.
Correct.
Why he is not selling his drug in India.
Okay, why is not marketing the drug in India?
Drug.
Through a common friend of ours who worked with the Air Force, we found that the customer was deemed to have malicious transactions in the past. He is a fraud, is it? Okay. Let me know on that. We were advised to refrain from doing business with him. We might have to raise an STR on this because he should not again go and approach anybody else. We also did an online search on the syndrome and discovered that it did not exist. I reported this incident to Mandip Singh, our acting regional head of MSF Bangalore, and Ashish Batra from the central team.
We called the customer and informed him politely that we wouldn't be able to onboard him.
In fact, this is what global standards in action is all about. It's fundamentally important to how we run our business here at HSBC. We've also put online mandatory training, and I know that the vast majority of you have already completed that mandatory training for AML and sanctions in particular. And I would ask that as new modules come out, that you do complete that training on a timely basis. In fact, the HSBC monitor, who is making sure that we at HSBC are complying with our commitments under the DPA, the Deferred Prosecution Agreement, is taking an active interest in the people who are not completing mandatory training on time. And I would ask for your support in making sure that you do complete that training on time, every time.
Let's now meet Rahul Kumar, working as a Senior Relationship Manager with the Bangalore MSF team, who was approached by a customer, Mr. D. Tiwari, for a personal loan of Rs 10 lakh.
Last month he called me. He said he is looking for a 40 lakh of home loan and 10 lakh of personal loan. I was very excited to meet with this customer because I will achieve my 66% of target for the personal loan and I have to refer one home loan also. Both my targets were going to get completed. I kept myself ready with all the documents. I checked his salary and all the details, but I was wondering because after giving him 10 lakh of personal loan, which was my main target, he won't be eligible for his home loan of 40 lakhs. I went to the customer, I checked his salary, I told him you go for the 6.5 lakh, you will be eligible for complete 40 lakhs. And he was very happy for this. Customer trusts the bank, but after a month, customer have discovered he is not eligible for complete 40 lakhs. So according to me, downsizing his loan was the right thing to do.
So as you know, we have three key priorities for HSBC that Stuart Gulliver has set out. One is to introduce global standards. The second is to grow our revenue and our dividends. And the third is to simplify the firm. Now, these are not incompatible, and I think the good thing about this example of Rahul is that he was able to balance between the need to do the right thing for the customer and drive the revenue line for HSBC. So he could have booked a loan for the full amount the customer was asking for and potentially achieved his own KPIs, but actually he took the time to look carefully and make sure he was advising the customer appropriately. And that's exactly the right response in this case.
As we travel back to Mumbai, we meet Tushar Thakur, who acted on his 5 senses. He asked the right questions and escalated an unusual set of accounts to his line manager.
During my day-to-day activities of monitoring customer accounts, I came across an account which had a nomenclature of customer. Along with that, a word dummy was also added to it. This looked a bit odd to me. I went into the account to check what details it has. It had huge balances, but the account was not exactly showing transactions from a customer perspective. I could have chosen to ignore this incident because this is not part of my day-to-day activities, but I proactively took this upon on myself as this looked a bit odd. I spoke with my line manager Arun Boyna, who agreed with my view.
Look into the root cause, assign the accountability and ask the relevant person to rectify this issue.
I'll raise a SQL request to get the complete dump and we'll do an analysis and then I'll come back to you on this.
Tushar's case is another interesting one, and it really drives home the point that if we as an individual see something that just doesn't look right, it's our obligation to ask questions and to take it further. And if we don't quite know what the answer is, that's fine. We just refer it to our line manager and make sure we get a resolution. So this is a very good example of the fact that global standards is fundamentally about asking the right questions.
I reviewed the complete list of accounts which SQL team gave me, and I mapped them against the global customer groups and excluded those accounts which I assumed belong to the group entities. Even after such exclusion, I could find that there were a huge list which were still could not be mapped. The issue was further escalated to I&M Risk Management Committee and flagged off to various business heads and in turn to Finance Department.
So my simple ask of you is that you give your full support to the rollout of global standards. We believe that it will drive competitive advantage for HSBC in the long term. By introducing global standards, we'll actually know our customers better and we'll be able to advise our customers better, and that should lead to a better customer experience. I'd like to thank all of our heroes and in fact all of you who are doing the right thing every day right across HSBC. These are very good examples of how actually introducing global standards is compatible with driving our revenue line higher and giving outstanding customer service. Thank you very much for your support, and I look forward to more of the same as we go forward.
Please do feel free to get in touch with our employee communications team.